Now at 5, police in Joplin surround a home near Cecil Floyd Elementary. Plus, how the high prices for food is impacting a local community Thanksgiving dinner. And
will Kevin McCarthy be able to gain enough support within his party to be Speaker of the House? I'm Deborah Alfarone on Capitol Hill with the latest jockeying for Republican leadership.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A SWAT team has surrounded a home in West Joplin. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Law officers have been at the home on the 1800 block of Joplin's West 21st Street all afternoon. It's in the neighborhood of Cecil Floyd Elementary School, and the assistant principal at Cecil Floyd has alerted parents of the situation. Authorities used a loudspeaker demanding that occupants of the home come out with their hands up. Neighbors tell us police have asked them to stay in their homes. West 21st is closed from McCoy Avenue to Cunningham Avenue. A man who shot his girlfriend in Miami, Oklahoma, then led police on a chase is going to prison. A judge has sentenced Austin Tanner to 40 years in prison for shooting with intent to kill. However, all but 15 years of that sentence is suspended. He also gets 5 years for eluding police. Authorities say in August of 2020, police investigated a domestic argument at a home on J Street northwest of Miami. Police left without making an arrest, and then later that afternoon, they say Tanner shot his girlfriend at the home. After a chase and crash, authorities arrested Tanner south of Fairland, Oklahoma. The girlfriend had multiple gunshot wounds but survived. Law enforcement in Bates County, Missouri today seized narcotics, cash, and guns during a drug bust. The Bates County Sheriff Emergency Response Team served a search warrant in Butler, Missouri. Authorities say the extensive drug investigation targeted a convicted felon. Officers took 4 people into custody and seized heroin, mushrooms, and field-tested fentanyl. Let's check in with Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a chilly day for us today. Clouds really stuck around most of the day, and then we've been getting some sunshine over the past couple hours. Of course, the sun is setting. We're sitting mainly upper 30s in Missouri. We did go into lower 40s, Kansas, and also into Oklahoma, but not too much going on right now. The clouds are breaking, so we're going to have clear skies over the next several hours. But then later on tonight, we have this little batch of clouds. Could even get a few snow flurries in here late tonight into the early morning hours. We're going to drop back through the 30s, cold, eventually down to about 24 degrees. And we're going to have the clear skies for a good chunk of the night, but then the clouds will roll back in and a few random flurries. Stays kind of cold the next few days. We do have a storm system leading up into Thanksgiving. We'll talk about that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. With grocery prices up sharply from a year ago, Thanksgiving is hitting households a lot harder this year. According to the latest inflation data, turkey is forecast to cost 23% more in the fourth quarter of the year because of both inflation and avian flu, which has reduced supply. A local food shelter representative also says the food line is getting longer.
The prices have gone up, and so we had to make sure that we kind of had to think about how many are we going to have coming in for our Thanksgiving meal. Numbers are rising for the need in the area, and we've been seeing that not just through our food line, but we've been seeing it through our holiday season.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from a certified public accountant on eating in during Thanksgiving. If you're planning to travel over the Thanksgiving weekend, be ready for the roads to be busy. AAA expects nearly 55 million people to travel at least 50 miles or more over the weekend. That puts it on track to be the 3rd busiest year for Thanksgiving travel, though it's not quite at pre-pandemic levels. A truck driver in the 4 states tells us traffic's already picking up.
It's been kind of gradually getting back to normal, and I feel like we are back to normal. I mean, even right now, like at this time of day, it's like very heavy out there. A lot of packs are traveling, and try not to travel in packs. Like, get away from the packs and you'll stay out of wrecks.
AAA is also seeing a rise in alternative modes of transportation like buses, trains, and cruise ships. Freeman Health System is sponsoring an exercise to make sure their faculty are prepared to handle a terrible tragedy. The exercise simulates a shooting at a youth basketball tournament. Officials say it's a chance for local medical and nursing students to get an idea of what it would be like to be part of a crisis response team.
We have to have staffing to take care of the patients. We also need to take care of the families. So we used our resources from the Ozark Center. They come and support us and allow us to take care of the needs of the patient while they can help support the families as well.
The simulated victims were played by actors from area nursing schools. Republicans in Congress are voting on who they want to lead their caucuses in the House and Senate. Reporter Deborah Alfarone has more from Capitol Hill.
Kevin McCarthy has survived the first challenge to his leadership, winning support among Republican colleagues to be Speaker of the House in the next session of Congress.
We have strong Republican leadership ready to hit the ground running, ready to go on January 3rd when we take back the House majority.
Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs, the former head of the right-wing Freedom Caucus, unsuccessfully challenged McCarthy. Though McCarthy won this nomination vote, he has a lot of work to do to unify Republicans before January's vote in the full House.
I think you'll see a critical mass say that we want to turn the page. We want new leadership, we want fresh faces and new ideas. And what I could tell you as I stand here right now is that Kevin McCarthy does not have 218 votes to become Speaker.
Senate Republicans will hold their leadership vote Wednesday, but some GOP senators want that vote delayed until after the Senate runoff election in Georgia.
I just don't understand why we would say to Herschel Walker, please, 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 please go win the Senate seat, but we're not interested in what you have to say. We don't even want you to have a voice in our elections. I just think that's wrong.
Right now, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is the only person running for the position.
If we don't delay the election, I think it is very likely that we will see someone run against Mitch McConnell.
Florida Senator Rick Scott is said to be considering a challenge. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
House Democrats are scheduled to hold their leadership vote at the end of the month, giving Nancy Pelosi time to decide if she wants to run again. Senate Democrats are scheduled to vote December 1st, but may delay that vote until after the December 6th Senate runoff election in Georgia. Former President Donald Trump is teasing a big announcement from his Florida club and home tonight. Sources tell CBS News he intends to announce the launch of his 2024 presidential campaign. This comes on the heels of those disappointing GOP results in the midterms, with many Trump-backed candidates losing to their Democratic rivals. Coming up, the importance of getting screened.
A new report shows very few eligible Americans are being screened for lung cancer. I'm Naomi Ruckham with Who is at Risk.
And later, the United Nations says the global human population has hit another major milestone. Topping today's Health Watch, researchers from Northwestern University have discovered a link between the growth of uterine fibroid tumors and environmental phthalates found in everyday products such as shower curtains and lunch boxes and shoes and even our food. The tumors are incredibly common. Up to 80% of women may develop one during their lifetime. They can cause bleeding and anemia, miscarriages, even infertility. A new report from the American Lung Association shows many Americans who are eligible are not getting life-saving screening for lung cancer. Naomi Ruckham has more.
Leah Phillips prides herself on living healthy. The mom of 3 is a runner and never smoked, so it was a complete shock when she was diagnosed at 43 with stage 4 lung cancer.
When they came back after the bone biopsy and said you have lung cancer, you could have knocked us over with a feather. My mom and my husband and I were all in the room.
According to the State of Lung Cancer report, nearly 237,000 people in the U.S. will be diagnosed this year. And for people at high risk, only 5.8% of those eligible have been screened.
We're up to 25% survival at 5 years, which is significantly up from the 17% survival in 2015. We attribute most of this to earlier detection of lung cancers, better treatments, and systemic therapies for patients who have lung cancer that's spread to the other parts of the body.
Up to 20% of people with lung cancer have never smoked. Many are exposed to other risk factors, including secondhand smoke, air pollution, and exposure to radon gas. Dr. Bobby Mahajan is a volunteer spokesperson with the American Lung Association.
My hope is that as we progress and get more data, we're going to be able to lower that number of non-smoking people with lung cancer because we have a better understanding of what their risk is.
Anyone with lungs can get lung cancer.
Leah says her type of lung cancer has been linked to radon exposure. Right now, her cancer is considered stable.
It has taught us a lesson that we live every day to the fullest. We make it a priority to spend time together as a family.
She is taking targeted drug therapy and says she will keep living a healthy life to give herself the best chance. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S. It occurs naturally in the earth and can be inhaled in basements or through cracks in buildings and homes. Children who experience adversity such as family illness or death, poverty or neglect, or stressful family relationships are at an increased risk of developing heart and blood vessel diseases by the time they reach young adulthood. The research out of Denmark found the risk was 60% higher for those who experienced adversity compared to those who did not. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, why the Department of Transportation is fining 6 major U.S. airlines.
Plus, it looks like another cold night for us tonight. I'll have those details coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a chilly day for us today. The clouds stuck around most of the day, and then we got some sunshine in here late this afternoon. But of course, now the sun's setting, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a cold night for us once again tonight. Looks good outside Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Look at our temps. Upper 30s, mid to upper 30s on the Missouri and Arkansas side. Still hanging out near 40, Kansas, and also into Oklahoma. Nice shot. 7th and range line, mostly clear skies, sitting at 38. West northwesterly winds at about 10. Our humidity is at 65%. But we aren't alone here. The entire Central Plains, cold behind the storm system that rolled through yesterday. You can see a lot of 30s, 20s, even 19 in Rapid City. And we're going to stay chilly as we go through the next few days. So we're going to slide back through the 30s, clear skies, eventually down to about 24 degrees. You can see the clouds breaking, rolling out of here, so pretty much clear skies for us now. However, just back to our north and to our west, see this little wave, parts of Nebraska and northwestern Kansas. This will slide in late tonight, so this will bring the clouds back in. Also, a few random flurries late tonight into tomorrow morning as this big upper level low just kind of spins across the Great Lakes. And because it's right up in here, you can see the jet stream, it keeps allowing bands of cold air to slide in for the rest of the week. So we're not going to have a warm up until really second half of the weekend into early next week. All right, for us tonight, here come the clouds back in. So here's 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. With it, a few bands of light little flurries. Not a big deal. Clouds work through, back to sunshine by noon. We'll be mainly into the mid to upper 30s. And then we're going to kind of hang out upper 30s to near 40 for afternoon highs. 26 in the morning, 36 by noon, 36 by 5. I think our high temp, 38, 39 degrees. Tomorrow night, we have clear skies to start, some clouds right back in again. By Thursday morning, and then mostly cloudy skies on Thursday. May get a random sprinkle or two, but Thursday night into Friday, we could also get a few bands of light snow showers or possible flurries as we head into Friday morning. So that's kind of what we have on tap for us, at least over the next couple days. Now, let's jump into next week. We do finally start to warm up. Of course, we have Thanksgiving next Thursday, so 50s to near 60 return by Tuesday. It looks like Wednesday, which is a big travel day. We have a storm system coming in that's going to give us chances for showers, maybe even some thunderstorms, and then I think we'll turn drastically colder right around Thanksgiving or just after. So we'll keep our eyes on that, but until then, we don't have any big storm systems. 39 tomorrow, Thursday 47, back down to 34 on Friday. Again, some flurries or light snow showers late Thursday into Friday. We rebound into the 40s as we head into the weekend, and then 50s early next week ahead of that next storm system right around Thanksgiving.
50s will seem warm. Relatively speaking, it will be.
We should be in the upper 50s for this time of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Deb. Coming up, the world population hits another major milestone. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Ronald Robbins served in the U.S. Army from 1967 to 1992. Parsons, Kansas native, was stationed in Vietnam, Panama, and the Middle East. And we salute Staff Sergeant Ronald Robbins, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch ahead of the busy holiday travel season, the Department of Transportation says it has fined 6 airlines more than $7 million for extreme delays in refunding travelers. The department also announced that airlines have issued $600 million in refunds to customers for canceled or significantly changed flights since the start of the pandemic. Google has reached a record $392 million settlement with 40 states over its location tracking practices. The search giant allegedly misled consumers over those practices and included confusion around, quote, the scope of the location history setting and how much consumers could limit the location tracking by adjusting settings. According to multiple reports, Amazon is the next tech giant set to cut a substantial number of jobs as soon as this week. As many as 10,000 employees could be affected. Meanwhile, FedEx, it's going to temporarily furlough drivers starting next month, just before the holidays, due to lower than expected demand. The United Nations says the world's population will hit 8 billion people today, with much of that growth coming from developing nations in Africa. Reporter Ian Lee has the story.
It's not a small world after all. We now share the planet with 8 billion people, according to the United Nations. At a hospital in Bangladesh, Adil Ahmed is holding his newborn for the first time. His joy is mixed with worry. He says as the population grows, the world's resources are not enough. About 333 million people now live in the United States, making it the world's third most populous country. Nigeria is on track to overtake the U.S. in the coming years as its population soars. But the country already lacks basic services like reliable electricity and public transportation.
The growing population in the country is a cause for concern.
Next year, India is set to dethrone China as the world's most populous country. The UN estimates half of future growth will come from just 8 countries, 5 of which are in Africa. The growth rate is slowing down worldwide, and in some countries, like Russia and Japan, their populations are even shrinking. But when it comes to the next generation, climate experts say it's all about each person's impact on the planet. For instance, Kenya has a population of 55 million people, about 95 times more than Wyoming. But Wyoming emits nearly 4 times more carbon dioxide. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Took only 12 years for the population to go from 7 to 8 billion, but the UN estimates the world won't hit 9 billion until the late 2030s. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the aftermath in Poland after 2 people there are killed by Russian missiles. Then on KOAM News at 6, the latest on police surrounding a home in Joplin near Cecil Floyd Elementary. Plus, we're going to have more on the impact of high grocery prices on local community Thanksgiving dinners. And the MIAA releases its all-conference football awards. They include several Gorillas and Lions. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. You're going to need that heavy coat for a while. We still have some more cold weather ahead of us.
We're going to drop low to mid 20s tonight. Could even get a few flurries in here late tonight into tomorrow morning. And a high of only 39. We should be topping out upper 50s. 47 Thursday, back down to 34 on Friday. Also some flurries late Thursday into Friday. staying kind of chilly all the way through the weekend. A little bit warmer for us next week.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.